Time for the up and down matches again. Of course, up next we have GuMiho against Hack. A game that will determine actually whether or not Sniper has to play any of their matches to stay in Code S.
Exactly. Funny as it is, Sniper has to watch these games and is now really rooting for Hack. If Hack is able to win this game, then he will be on 2-0 wins, and GuMiho will have lost to Sniper and to Hack, and therefore Sniper will be in Code S because there's no chance of a weird three-way tie between Sniper, GuMiho and Hack to happen. So that's definitely something that Sniper really wants right now. Of course, if Sniper later on is able to win the match against Hack, he will be on 4-0 and things won't matter anymore at all. But that game would be completely obsolete, most likely, if right now Hack is defeating GuMiho.
That is going to be quite crucial.
It's of course, sorry to interrupt.
That's fine.
It's of course always a little bit complicated to explain all these things, so the best thing that you can do is just check out GOMTV.net, Team Liquid, look at the groups, and then it will basically just, it will be a lot more transparent when I explain these things. I mean, I have my sheet in front of me, I'm trying to figure out what exactly the status in the group is right now. For GuMiho, it's important to win here. It's really, really important to get this win. And Sniper, of course, as I already mentioned, he will be watching closely.
Yeah, this is going to be, basically, he just needs a win here, and he is done. GuMiho sitting on the other side now of things with his towel. He is ready to go. He really wants this win so he can pull ahead. Hack, if he loses here, of course, puts himself on even score, so it's not as stressful for him if he loses, but he really wants to take this win. The map is Ohana. It's loaded. So the up and down match is cast by Calder and Wolf.
It's Ohana, which by the way means family.
Yeah.
To the bottom right, we have our Terran player for the FXO team. He's starting in red. His ideas.
FXO GuMiho.
It's his third match. He won one map so far and he lost one. It's up against the Startail Terran, who only played his teammate in this group so far. He played against Ace on Whirlwind and he won. Now he's up against GuMiho. The blue Terran is called
Startail Hack.
3 of 4 potential next matches will include Hack, so he's going to have a lot of games ahead of him to play. See what builds these two players want to choose. This is our first Terran versus Terran, and Gas first comes out for Hack.
Yeah. Hack with the gas first here immediately. GuMiho, on the other hand, is starting with the gas first as well, a little bit later than his opponent, though.
Yeah, just slightly. And this can be a funny situation if they both go for Cloak Banshees.
If you have suddenly the situation where you have a Cloak Banshee in your own main base, your own Cloak Banshee is in your opponent's base.
It's so hard to micro two plays at once.
Exactly. You need to try to rescue your own Cloak Banshee that is harassing, doing as much damage as possible. At the same time, you want to save your own worker line. But it could also just mean that one player is going for a Cloak Banshee where the other one is going for a Raven, and then suddenly things will be completely different.
Yeah. We'll see. You may see mech on this map as well. This map is quite popular for mech, given that there's so many choke points and ramps that you have to fight through. But Marine Tank here is still the most common composition, and it is on all maps still in Korea.
And GuMiho has some really crazy builds that he's shown in the past, especially on Metropolis with a close air position. We've seen him go for a double Stargate opening against a Terran player, something that you usually don't see, but it was really pretty cool and weird at the same time with Banshees, Raven and Vikings, something that can really surprise your opponent. So let's see what we are going to see here. With the positioning that we have at the buildings on the bottom right for GuMiho, it looks like he's definitely the one going for a Cloak Banshee here. Hack with his factory, not towards his opponent. Could still go for a Raven and just a Viking in order to fend this off.
He may go for Reactor Hellion Pressure, for example. What's most important to note, though, is that neither player is going for the second gas. So that means neither wants to get Cloak.
Exactly. That's really important here. No second refinery for either one of them. And we have a reactor for GuMiho.
Yeah, ironically, he's the one who's put his factory closer, but he goes for the reactor. Hack, the one who's closer to the ramp, goes for the tech lab.
Yeah. So it looks like GuMiho will start with those Hellions that we talked about. At the same time, we have the fast. It's actually really funny. We have the fast Banshee or the fast Starport with the tech lab for Hack, but we don't see him with the double gas. Let's see what he's going to do. The SCV trying to get into the main base. The Marine, oh wow, just not able to take it down.
Oh, this is actually terrible that this occurs like this. Now he knows everything. Oh, unbelievable. This is actually a rare build, and it's one that you really want to know about if you're going to face it, and now he knows everything. He's just going to wall his ramp, most likely.
Yeah, that was really well done, and now Hack can, of course, decide what he's going to do. He knows that he does not have to prepare against any kind of Banshee play, at least not immediately, so he does not need a Raven right now. He's going for the Banshee instead, which has helped him so much more.
And GuMiho has indicated with this floating factory that he is going for mech. Or sorry, excuse me. Yeah, you're right. Floating barracks.
Exactly. He doesn't want to go for bio, so he wants to go for more of a mech-centered style. And to the top left, we have actually now just the preparation for GuMiho's attack, but the FXO Terran is following things up with an expansion.
Viking first for GuMiho here. He is he's just trying to play this very safely. He doesn't really know what his opponent is doing. He has no scouting information whatsoever.
The cool thing for GuMiho is now that Hack is building the Banshee. He is not committing too much to it. There's no cloak. But therefore, the Viking will be able to take down Banshee without a problem at all.
Very true. And if GuMiho had wanted to, he could have moved out with his Hellions to try to build some harasses. Hack did not react by walling. So he's only got 4 Marines at the top of a ramp. His own Hellion comes out, but could have been really scary for Hack, for GuMiho's Hellions moving out.
GuMiho already with the second Viking, so he really wants to be the air-dominant player, which we will see with this mech style. Raven will probably be built very early as well. And there's Hack with the faster blue flames.
Yeah, which is kind of weird. He sees that GuMiho is going back. GuMiho has actually just shown him the barracks to his face. Wow, that's so critical. The command center with 4 in-game seconds of build time left is not complete.
And now the double Viking is out, of course, by this time. Nice, takes down a third Harvester. At this point, Hack already knew that there's just no way of him really saving his Banshee, so he just tries to take down as many SCVs as possible.
With him having the faster Blue Flame Hellion upgrade, his Hellions are so much more valuable than GuMiho's in a fight. And this barracks is going to go down, and this...
I don't actually think that he's going to go for a fight. If you look at the production tab, we have now the Medivac being built, and if he's able to sneak these Blue Flame Hellions into the production line of GuMiho, the Terran player in the red is actually a bit in trouble.
And in the meantime, GuMiho sneaks his Hellions around by ground, all the way around the vision of the Watchtower.
Oh no, and the Marines are just moving out. This is the worst case scenario, but he saves it with the Medivac.
And now you're going to have red versus blue here in just a second as Blue Flame is almost done. And there it is. This is such a funny situation. You can see GuMiho trying to out-micro his opponent with the Marines there, and Blue Flame, though, he has to retreat. And he doesn't have a Medivac to run back into. Brings another Hellion into the mix.
Oh, nice micro here.
Yeah.
All the Hellions are actually gone. GuMiho playing this really well.
And all of his Hellions so low on hit points, but able to go bring them back and save them.
If he can
really
just repair them, that is all that he needs now.
Yeah. That was really impressive. Kept his barracks alive at the top right as well, so he can continue to produce factories. That's really critical. I thought he might lose that
a little bit risky to go for the drop here with the Vikings that are around, but he drops.
Yeah, and he's going to lose everything.
Yeah, he's going to lose everything here. The main question is how much damage can he actually deal to his opponent. At the bottom we have SCVs repairing the Hellions. A few of them die, but GuMiho definitely getting the better end of this trade.
Yeah, Hack now really low on supply. And GuMiho is going to land the barracks at his opponent's third base, making sure that his territory cannot be claimed without destroying it. And now Hack has the better factory production, but GuMiho has the better army. And the worker count is in Hack's favor ever so slightly, 33 to 31.
Another expansion now being built for GuMiho, though. He's going for the third orbital right now. He's a little bit slow with this production, just now getting those 2 additional factories that Hack already has. But still, this is a pretty... So far, it was actually a pretty good situation just for GuMiho to be in. Hack lost more resources than GuMiho did.
Yeah.
And the third, of course, so much faster.
GuMiho knows that this barracks can actually float around for quite some time with no Vikings to stop it. So he just wants to go check how many units does he have, how many SCVs are at his natural, does he have any siege tanks out yet? And Hack with the fast Thor here, knowing that he does need to get some anti-air out because GuMiho could be hiding something or planning something with that Viking advantage he has.
GuMiho is now ahead in the worker count, and he's still producing double SCVs, of course. Hack is doing exactly the same thing with a lot of missile turrets. As Wolf already pointed out, he's still committing to this. And now the Blue Flame attack upgrade for GuMiho. Still a little bit ahead in overall supply, but it does not really matter all this much at this point in time. So both of them are starting to be on even terms again, but the one thing that of course we have to keep in mind is that GuMiho will be able to call down the third mule a little bit earlier, and therefore has a slight advantage in the mineral income.
Yeah, and you know, the air advantage that GuMiho has, though, is going to continue to persist. And we've seen this in a lot of TVTs that GuMiho plays. When he's behind, he just uses that air advantage. For example, against MMA in the Team League Finals, we saw just how crazy things turned around with air battles. And the Blue Flame Hellions here try to break through, but GuMiho already has the wall set up. This is not going to be something he can break. And he's going to have to become concerned about that third base. He doesn't know about it yet.
The problem with the advantage, though, is that if he commits too much to the Viking composition, then those Thors will really shine. They have the area effect damage against clustered units, and there are 2 Thors out already. So this is how Hack is going to approach this. He doesn't want to play a numbers game.
Yeah, he's actually just prepared so well, knowing he's behind, knowing the threat is there, getting those Thors out. The Raven can only do so much against Thors who do 4 shots, so it uses 10 energy per shot. Every time the Thor does that, it's 40 energy, so the point defense is not going to last very much against the Thor firepower.
And therefore this is a lot of supply that he can't effectively use.
Yeah, and the Thor fight begins.
Yeah, the Thor is already in here, and now GuMiho has to be careful. He wants to place down his third base, but he can't. He can't take the third mineral line. Hack is trying to get his third base up as well. And of course the siege tanks for GuMiho are an issue here, but still, Hack with a pretty decent position. They are basically on even terms right now.
Yeah, and you know, in some ways I like what Hack has done to prepare for the Vikings. He's not doing too much of that. And in mech versus mech, though, it's so hard for one player to attack the other one. What does the game always come down to? Air battles at the end of the day, and GuMiho is just doing this. He's preparing for that really early, but at the same time, because he doesn't have a real army, he cannot hold his third base because the ground force are pushing him back.
Run by attempt with the Blue Flame Hellions.
The depot wall!
Not fast
It's
enough.
not going to be here in time. He's going to just rip right through it. The bunker helps out a little bit, but here come the Hellions.
And they are going straight for the mineral line. The SCVs are trying to run away, but they line up, and most of them are already dead and gone. Now here comes the army of Hack.
Oh, and he attacks the Hellions all bunched up, so GuMiho's Hellions do the most possible damage to his.
He killed 13 Harvesters, which is still kind of okayish, but now here we have the battle, and losing these Thors is definitely a big problem. Yes, he takes down 2 tanks, but still, that was a good trade for GuMiho here.
Oh, the Hellions of Hack, though, try to come in, but the problem is he's fighting against armored units.
Yeah, he's fighting against the siege tanks that are already sieged up as well, so he needs to be very careful here. Now the third base is being established for GuMiho, and this is a great win for the FXO player.
The Hellions of Hack do have +1. GuMiho just now finishing his +1 upgrade. Neither player having plating nor double armories. Now GuMiho's barracks is going to come into play here a little bit now, as it is blocking the third base of Hack, which he wants to land desperately. He's already behind in that regard, and then he's going to have to kill this barracks as well. That's very frustrating for him.
Yeah, it just delays everything that he does at this point. And now once again, a few Hellions roaming the map, making sure that there's no hidden base, but can they actually get into the main base?
If he decides to bust through, he can. There's nothing to stop him.
Wow, just in time, takes down 2 Harvesters.
He could target the depot, but he doesn't know exactly where his opponent's Hellions are, and I like the choice to run here because they are going to be back.
Yeah, they will be back in time. They're already trying to corner those few Hellions, and they will be able to do it. Boom.
Yep. And, you know, in this type of situation, though, a lot of extra damage being done by GuMiho. This time the split much better for Hack, just getting the better concave there. The Viking count is 14-1 in GuMiho's favor, and as the game goes longer, this becomes more and more important.
And now we have also a Harvester count advantage for GuMiho. And there are Hellions in the main base of GuMiho, though, and they take down a huge amount of Harvesters. 28 already killed by Hack, and suddenly GuMiho is down to 34 Harvesters against 51. He's actually looking at a serious disadvantage in the work count.
I know, man. That's actually, I mean, we just talked about how he was ahead, but now it's the opposite.
Exactly. Then there comes the drop, and suddenly things change.
Kaldor, we're going to have a Viking drop. Right now, there are 15 Vikings flying across the map, and a Raven to accompany them just in case of turrets. And if Hack is out of position, which he is right now, he could take some serious losses here. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, but he's going to go for it.
GuMiho is moving in, and here we go. Losing 1, but here they are. Assault mode is done.
And he just picks up and leaves right away. He wants to camp the starport. He's actually going to drop auto turrets on siege tanks here.
Takes down a siege tank already, even harassing now the mineral line at the natural with his auto turret. And he's in the main base, and he's using, once again, he's using the Vikings in assault mode and taking down supply depots will really help him.
This is actually really cool. He's got a defensive position set up at home, but there are so many siege tanks he's going to face. He doesn't have any more Banshees.
No.
Oh, wow.
They line up! All the SCVs, they line up against the Hellions, Blue Flame Hellions of GuMiho.
Hack is trying to attack, but this is just such a funny position. Now he's killing some of the reinforcing units of GuMiho right now. GuMiho has his natural under siege, and there's no way for Hack to actually make any air units with all the Vikings camping on top of his starport. And the orbital, he's got to land it soon.
And here comes the job. Well, the Viking job, assault mode on top of the siege tanks. He's taking down most of the army of his opponent already. The supply is still similar, and now the wall of GuMiho is being breached by Hack's army.
Yeah, and he's got more and more tanks coming through. GuMiho does have a siege tank set up on the top of his ramp, but he's going to lose more and more SCVs here. The worker count right now, 38 to 25 in Hack's favor, and a few more SCVs going down for GuMiho right now. This is a really close game. It's hard to say who has the better position here, but the siege tank count is 10 to 9 in GuMiho's favor. I mean, it's so close, the situation we have right now.
GuMiho is mining, though. This is the one big problem that Hack has at the bottom left. The third base of the FXO Terran is still mining. There are a lot of mules that he just dropped, and the Blue Flame Hellions, they just don't approach, and this is a big problem for him.
Oh, he's going to land on the tanks again. He's got his own tanks popping out. That mining that he has in the base is allowing him better siege tank production. He's going to clean up this tank. And wow, this is actually, I feel, Vikings being used as Blizzard intended them when they designed them back in the beta, man. Just using them to drop, land, be very versatile, mobile units. This is Vikings like we've never seen them before. Dropping auto turrets on top of siege tanks here once again for vision.
The position for GuMiho is a good one. Still no mining for Hack, and this is becoming a problem by the second. I mean, look at this. Suddenly a 30 supply lead for GuMiho, and Hack still having a problem to actually mine on one of his bases.
Yeah, he cannot actually go in and
Look
engage
at this production tab.
Yeah,
Nothing.
he can't make anything. He doesn't have any money. He cannot land. And that air control just becomes more and more important. He's barely going to be able to land his command center, but when he lands it, the siege tanks will fire on it. And it's lost it. And now the other one is in cyberspace, man. Where is he gonna go?
Wolf, this is checkmate.
Yeah.
This is literally checkmate. There is no move left.
GG.
Hack loses the game.
Inspiring play, really, from GuMiho here. That was so sick to watch.
It was really, really sick to watch. And therefore, now we still have the chance of a three-way tie for the first two places in the group. Sniper is not in Code S yet. Puzzle against Hack, that's the next map. It's Cloud Kingdom, and this is another game where Sniper will watch closely and just pray that Hack is actually going to lose.
Yes. And he's gonna hope for that tie situation to not arise around him.
That's the one thing that he really wants to happen right now. In this game that we just saw between GuMiho and Hack, Sniper was rooting for the StarTale player, but now he is rooting for StarTale. He wants Puzzle to win against Hack, then Sniper would be in Code S.
Yes. And Puzzle, man, he needs a win here. He's 1 and 2. If he loses this, he will not have a chance to advance here.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, if now suddenly Hack is going to... If Hack is losing this map, then GuMiho winning over Ace would secure GuMiho in spot in Code S. So Sniper and GuMiho would advance.
Yep. So there's basically... There's a few situations where the final map will be required, but then in the situations you just described, if either of those scenarios occur, then it will not be required.
Exactly. So the situation in the group is really tense. Every map counts now. Puzzle against Hack. It's starting. Protoss versus Terran on Cloud Kingdom at the GSL Up and Downs.
Everybody get there! Everybody get there! Let's go on!